All right, let's get into it. Today, we are going to crack the code on a really crucial part of your market research executive apprenticeship, Behavior B4. Now, don't think of this as just some box you have to tick. Think of it as your own ethical quest. And trust me, by the end of this, you're going to have the map you need to absolutely master it.
So, to help us figure this all out, we're going to follow the story of Jody. She's an apprentice, just like you, at a company called Ibis Stores. Her manager, Riddle, kicks off her journey with this really powerful statement. See, it's not just about a bunch of rules, it's all about trust. And that idea, that's the core of everything we're about to talk about.
So, where does a quest like this even begin? Well, for Jody, it starts with getting a handle on what B4 actually is. I know it might sound a bit technical or like some kind of jargon, but it's really just about keeping your ethical compass pointed in the right direction as you become a fantastic researcher.
At its heart, B4 simply means to work ethically. It's all about acting with integrity and, this is the most important part, protecting the people behind the data you're collecting. You're not just dealing with numbers on a spreadsheet, you're dealing with real people's thoughts, their feelings, and their personal information. You gotta treat that with respect. That is your prime directive.
Jody quickly learns that this big idea is built on 4 key pillars. First up, integrity, just being honest and straight up. Second, protection, keeping your participants and their data safe from harm. Third, compliance, which just means following the rules, both your company's policies and the law. And fourth, transparency, being really clear and open about what you're doing and why you're doing.
Okay, so let's see how all this theory turns into something you can actually use. Jody's mentor, Adam, gives her this brilliant analogy. He tells her to imagine that she's building a shield of trust around every single person who participates in her research. It's a really powerful image, isn't it? Let's take a look at how she actually builds that shield.
Look, theory is great, but you really learn this stuff by doing. So Adam gives Jody her first real mission, to go out and do some research on the new Ibis loyalty app. This is her training ground. This is the place where she's going to turn all those ethical principles into real-world actions.
The very first layer of that shield of trust is something called informed consent. Adam teaches Jody that it's a pretty simple 3-step process. 1, you clearly explain the purpose of the research. 2, you detail exactly how their data is going to be handled and kept safe. And 3, you confirm that taking part is 100% voluntary. No pressure, ever. Now, here's a classic ethical curveball. Adam throws a scenario at Jody. What if, right in the middle of an interview about a shopping app, a customer starts sharing something really personal or sensitive, something totally out of the blue? What's the right move there? This is where your professional judgment really kicks in. So this slide kind of shows the 2 paths you could take. The unprofessional response? Well, that's to either just ignore what they said, or even worse, start prying for more details. But the ethical B4 response that Jody learns is to acknowledge it with empathy, stop yourself from digging deeper, and then escalate it to a manager if you think it's necessary. That way, you protect the participant and you protect the integrity of your research. Okay, so Jody is definitely building her skills, but for her apprenticeship, she needs to be able to prove it. So this next part of her quest is all about gathering the right evidence for her Aptum portfolio. Remember, it's all about showing what you can do, not just talking about it. And here's the great news. All that practical work she just did for the loyalty app project, that can be turned directly into evidence. Every single step she took to build that shield of trust is a piece of the puzzle for her portfolio. Let's break down exactly what that evidence can look like.
First up, the consent form she put together. This is a perfect piece of evidence. I mean, it's a real, tangible document that shows she understands how to be transparent, how to explain the purpose of the research, and how to confirm that participation is voluntary. It's basically her B4 principles right there on paper.
Next, her data management plan. Now, this doesn't have to be some crazy complicated document. As you can see here, it can be a really simple table. It just shows how she planned to collect the data, where it would be stored securely, and what her process was for making it anonymous to protect privacy. This directly proves she can handle data responsibly.
And this is the secret weapon, the knockout piece of evidence, her reflective account. It's not just about what she did, it's about why she did it. This quote shows she's thinking critically. She explains the situation, the what, her action and the reasoning behind it, the why, and what she learned from it, the what was learned. This stuff is absolute gold for your portfolio.
So, Jody's got the knowledge, she's got the evidence. Now she has to face the final challenge, the end point assessment, or EPA.
This is where her coach, Olivia, steps in to get her ready for the professional discussion. You could say this is the final boss battle of her quest. Olivia gives Jody a very typical EPA question to practice with. See, these questions aren't about reciting definitions from memory. They're about telling a story based on your own real-world experience. They're designed to see if you can actually apply these principles when it counts.
So Jody uses the STAR method to structure her answer perfectly. For situation, she says, "We were researching the new loyalty app." For task, "My job was to gather user feedback while protecting their data." For action, "I created a clear consent form and made sure to anonymize all sensitive comments." And for result, "This protected participant privacy, it maintained trust, and it ensured our research was both compliant and credible." It's just so clear, concise, and it directly answers the question with proof.
And with that, Jody's quest comes to a close. But the goal was never just about passing an assessment. The real transformation here is moving from being someone who just follows the rules to becoming a professional who truly lives and breathes these principles.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Mastering behavior B4 is, without a doubt, the foundation of your entire career. It's what makes you, your research, and your company credible and trustworthy. You're not just ticking a box for your apprenticeship, you are literally building your professional reputation from day one.
Jody's story has shown you the path. She started with the basics, she applied them to a real project, she gathered her evidence, and she proved she knew her stuff. Now, her quest becomes your own. So the real question is for you, how are you going to start building your shield of trust?